I remember the day very well. I was still a student, and frankly speaking, we didn't have lessons for the day. Everyone was on the street celebrating, including our lecturers and our administrative staff at the university. That's the day Nelson Mandela was released, and we were all jubilant and excited. Nelson Mandela stood for fairness, for justice, for equality, and most importantly, he stood for humanity. In South Africa, we would like to call it Ubuntu, which basically means that you are who you are because of other people. And these are the values that he was known for, and these are the values that he lived by. Nelson Mandela believed in equality, fairness, justice to others, and in the spirit of humanity, meaning service to others. Yes, these values are still very relevant today as they were when he was still alive. If we just pick one, for example, poverty eradication. In this continent, for example, yes, we have gone a long way in terms of reducing absolute poverty, but we have not eradicated it. What about equality? Well, I come from a country that is the most unequal in the world. And so we cannot say that we have reached equality for all. And this is one of the values that he stood by. So in my view, his values are still relevant today as they were when he was still alive. If you look at the African Development Bank's core values, you could see also the equity. You could see service to humanity if you think about our vision for a better life for all. So these values that Nelson Mandela stood by resonate very well with the work that the African Development Bank is doing at the moment. Nelson Mandela anticipated a better life for all. So he had a vision. Second, he's challenged the status quo. Third, he analyzed critically, and he involved others in arriving at a decision. Fourth, he made very tough decisions, which to this day, not everyone agrees with. And finally, he learned. You will be surprised how many of the decisions that he made while in government, which were informed by the lessons he picked from others. So for me, that are the core principles of a good leader. So let me tell you a story. Nelson Mandela entered an elevator in a building that housed the African National Congress headquarters. I was working there as an intern in the economics department. And when he entered the elevator, he looked at me and said, "Young girl, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be at school." This left a mark in me as I was growing up, because it embodies the message that he has been saying, that we must never underestimate the power of knowledge. And coming back to the African Development Bank, it means that we must nurture institutional knowledge, because it is through that we'll be able to replicate the lessons that we learn from one country to the other in achieving the bank's mission.